Washington. And right now joining us is Guy Lewis. He's the former U.S. Attorney here for the Southern District of Florida. He's worked at the Justice Department with Robert Mueller and James Comey. He's also argued before the FISA court, that secret court. Guy, let me ask you what you think about this memo, but first listen to the response from the FBI. This is the statement. The men and women of the FBI put their lives on the line every day in the fight against terrorists and criminals because of their dedication to our country and the Constitution. The American people should know that they continue to be well served by the world's preeminent law enforcement agency. FBI special agents have not and will not allow partisan politics to distract us from our solemn commitment to our mission. Why do you think the FBI is feeling so strongly about this?
Well, because they are under attack right now. I mean, there's hundreds, there's thousands of women and men who are out there doing what they do best, which is investigate and prosecute criminal cases. And their integrity, Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, fidelity, integrity, very seldom do they come under attack like this, and they are under attack.
Let me just say, Guy, while you're speaking, we're looking at live pictures of the President and First Lady arriving there in West Palm Beach, and some people feel that the Trump administration is using this as a weapon against the Department of Justice and the FBI. Do you agree with that?
Well, in part. Look, Trump and his team of lawyers are attacking the case, as any defense lawyer would. They would tear down the prosecution's case. They're tearing down the information, the investigation, as Bob Mueller and his team are developing that information. That's what they're doing. And this memo, I'm convinced, is really nothing more than a way to start conditioning the jury. In this case, the jury is the House of Representatives, who ultimately, I believe, are going to hear and consider articles of impeachment.
So let's talk about the warrant on Carter Page. This is all centered, the memo centers around this. It was renewed 3 times, which means they would have had to have new evidence presented each time they renewed that warrant. So could this controversy now change the way the FISA process goes going forward?
I think it can, Rudabeh. The problem is you can attack the applications without attacking the agents or the agency. I can go in there and argue, I think, fairly, that information should have been included, updates should have occurred, omissions that, again, we've only seen one side of this, but if you believe this document, material that, frankly, a judge would want to know was not included in there. And that, I think, is where the real problem is when it comes to the application, the FBI and the DOJ.
Do you believe that the president's next move will be to fire the assistant, the assistant attorney general? Boy,
oh boy, you see him named directly, front and center, as one of the individual. I've worked with Rod in my career when I was in D.C. He's a good guy. He himself is just like Comey. Rod Rosenstein's a former United States attorney who's handled big cases. But if I'm Rod tonight, I've got to be concerned whether or not my job is secure.
How long do you think it'll take for this to happen?
Well, look, we already see the president tweeting early this morning and this afternoon that he is sorely disappointed with what's occurring at the Department of Justice. He's called it, in his words, politicized. I think he used those words. So he's, and I don't recall that happening in the near past. Even when Clinton was under attack, even when Reagan was under attack in Iran-Contra, this is new ground that we're plowing right now.
If this was all in the interest of transparency, why not let the Democrats also release a memo?
Well, that's a good point, and I think the Democrats will come out and give a retort, give a response. They may not release a per se memo, but you do see them on TV and in the newspapers being quoted about why they think this memo is, in their words, frankly, ridiculous.
We've been asking you for a while now, are we at a constitutional crisis? I have to ask you again, are we closer to a constitutional crisis?
Closer, yes. I don't think we're there there yet. I've always sort of measured the constitutional crisis test when we had when Nixon fired the Attorney General, fired the Deputy Attorney General, and brought in Robert Bork, a name that some of you may remember. Robert Bork, who didn't get on the Supreme Court, by the way, as a result of him coming in and firing the then special counsel who was investigating the Watergate break-in.
A lot of people think that history may repeat itself.
Certainly could.
Guy Lewis, thank you very much for your insight. Thank you very much.
Nice to see you, Guy. Well, just before we went on air, we had a chance to ask Guy a lot more about this. We posted it on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/CBS Miami.